Okay, so while I'm actually still busy with my one apple cider brew that's going to be around about probably 20 liters, I also want to make a little bit of a smaller batch with a different method that I also saw a video on of a guy from Kennel Brewery. So as you can see here, I've got some probably about 500 mils, maybe a little bit less, water in there already, and that's mixed with about 300 to 400 grams of sugar. And the way I'm going to do this batch is I'm going to add apple juice instead of boiling apples with tea bags and so forth. And then literally with the sugar in there as well as the apples, I'm just going to add some Brewers Yeast that I still have left, where the other yeast I'm going to use for the bigger batch. So yeah, let's see if this works out. So something that I'm also going to try with this recipe is pour this into it. So I've poured in my apple juice, which is almost at the top, but I want to leave some space there at the top actually. But a technique that the guy on Kennel Brewery said is to try and maybe use some sediment that was collected from your beers. So I made a vice a while back, and obviously you can see that at the bottom of the bottles there's usually some sediment in, and he said, like, if you don't really have yeast, it's also a good idea to maybe use some of it. So I collected it out of a couple of beers. I know it looks a little bit gross, but I think I'm going to try it. So I'm going to pour it in there and see if it also maybe does something, and maybe it brings some sort of a different flavor because yeah. And then I'm also going to, however, use this yeast as well. So I would just obviously need to keep monitoring it like quite consistently to make sure that it doesn't explode on me, or so that it doesn't get to that the bottle doesn't basically blow up. But as my pineapple beer and my ginger beer, I'll place it in a cooler bag so that in case it explodes, then at least I'll be sorted. Okay, so here is my bottle of pineapple cider. That's probably going to be about 4 liters. And where I'm going to put it in, I'm going to put it in this cooler along with some of my other drinks. So yeah, basically I'm going to let it ferment there and see what it does, and if it actually turns out to be nice. So yeah, cool, let's see.